Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, we are at Christchurch Airport in New Zealand, and just following on from our last video, this is the first flight in our brand new, well, it's not brand new, but it is a new airline. Our first flight in this profile, starting our own airline. It is our first flight with a plane full of passengers, and we're going to make some money. So this is our first commercial trip really in our lovely Avro RJ100. So we're going to fly up the beautiful coast of the South Island to Wellington, and we have a full complement of passengers booked in today, 112 people. So we are actually going to make a profit, I believe. So welcome aboard, and let's get things started. We're in cold and dark at the moment. We won't always be in cold and dark, but we are at the moment on this flight, our very first flight from Christchurch to Wellington. So let's get things fired up and underway. If you missed the video I just did earlier today, you'll see the economy. You'll see how much this flight is actually costing me, as far as fuel and wages and all the costs of running this airline. You'll also see how much money we're making as well, which is quite nice. Right, so let's come down here first, and we're going to get things started up. We're going to turn on our weather radar, and we're going to set it at 15 degrees up. 15 degrees up. And we'll come down here and we'll set our TCAS at its standby, and we'll just check that our air brakes are in and our flaps are up. Then we'll come on up here and we'll turn on our navigation lights, and then we can turn on our batteries 1 and 2, and we can monitor our startup, check that we're getting a good discharge from battery 1. There are 23 minimum, 25. Battery 1 and battery 2, the discharges are good, so that's a good reading. That is all good there. And we're going to come up here and we'll turn on our yaw dampers, both our autopilot masters and our avionics master. That is good. Our ground ignition, we're going to leave that set on A for today. We'll come down here and we'll check all our electrical buses are off. Our standby inverter and standby inverters and standby generators are actually on. Engine generator 1, generator 4 are off, but we're going to turn on our APU generator there. Right, let's come up here and check that our fire handles are all in and straight down, and our engine fire detection switches are all on loop 1 today. Okay, so we'll turn on our inner fuel pump there, because we're going to get our APU started now. So we'll fire that up. This will ignite green when we're running on our APU. I've turned on the APU generator already, so it'll automatically switch on when it's powered up enough for us. Just takes a few seconds to fire up. Can hear it firing up there, building up pressure. There we go. We are now running on our APU. Come over here, turn on our APU air, and 1 pack for our air conditioning, just to help people sort of feel a little bit more comfortable really. Okay, we're going to come over and test our master warning system here. We'll turn this on. and we'll see all our master warning lights light up here to show everything is working and in good condition. So we can go ahead and turn those off. Now before we get into doing our flight plan, we might as well get started loading some fuel and some passengers. So we'll come into here, click on 0 fuel weight, and we'll put in there 30,000, enter. 0 fuel weight, I'm going to put in 5,200, click on enter, and I've got it set on 5 minutes. Otherwise you can have it on realistic, but you could be sitting here for 30-40 minutes. So I'm going to set it on there. 0 fuel weight. Is that set right or not? Let's double check that. 0 fuel weight, 30,000, enter. Total fuel weight, 5,200, enter, and we'll start refueling. Okay, let's click on the boarding now. We have a full complement of passengers today, which is 112. 112 bums on seats. This is good for us. Enter, and we will start the boarding process. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to get our IRS switched over to Align, so they will come on board once we have our everything done on the FMC. That will be aligned, and we can come down here and switch on our EFIS, and we'll do the same over the other side. And we might as well switch on the pet ear as well, so our little hairy friends in storage there are feeling a little bit more comfortable. Okay, boarding is at 74%. And I think we're going to put our plan into the FMC. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll be back with you very soon. Okay, so I've got our flight plan into the FMC here. We're flying out Christchurch, departing out through runway 02, flying to Gatbu, Greta, Luxiv, Ward, Docks, and heading up towards Wellington through Salty, through our standard instrument arrival. Our arrival is Umaga through Bhutan, and then landing at ILS runway 34 at Wellington. We're going to go through a few tests now. We're going to test our annunciators here. We'll hold that in.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Okay, ground proximity.
Glide slope.
Okay, pull up.
Pull up.
Yep, that's all working there. That is good.
Terrain ahead.
We're going to check our flight recorder down here. We're going to do a test on that. We'll hold that down. This little light should change from green to yellow and back to green again. Then it should sit on green for around about 10 seconds before switching off. Okay, it's holding the green now for around about 10 seconds, and then it'll come off, and that is a good test. Okay, our TCAS test will come down here, and we'll hold this one, and we'll make sure that it's lit up red on our display here. The other test we can do is on our oxygen supply. Make sure that you have a positive reading there for our oxygen, and we can do a physical test of the oxygen valve. There we go. You can hear the air come out, the oxygen come out there. Looks like our IRSs are aligned, so I'm going to switch them around to navigate. and you can see our flight plan coming up on here. We're going to test our oxygen as well. You should be able to just hear that little bit of oxygen come out there. We're going to put our cabin emergency lights on, and our no smoking, and our beacon light, because we're going to actually start things up very soon. Very exciting stuff. Now we're going to test our AC and DC here, our DC pump. So we're going to flick on our DC and we should get a positive reading down on this gauge here. Those needles have come up, so that is a positive reading for our DC. Now we're going to check our AC, and we should get the gauge coming up there on our yellow. And we're going to check our PTU, and we should get a positive reading on our gauge there. Positive discharge there. Once we have a positive reading on all those, we can go ahead and turn those off. We'll come up here, turn on our 4 ice, and our ice detection switch there, and we'll turn on our flight deck emergency lights and fasten the seat belts. Okay, so let's turn on our fuel pumps, and we can go ahead and get ready for pushback. We have clearance, so we can ask for pushback, and we can take off our brakes.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Chocks, remove our chocks. Our park brakes.
Cabin is secure.
Cabin is secure. Let's see if we can get... we got some pushback going, so that is good. Let's go up here and prepare to start our engines. Put the start master on. Flick that round to engine 4. And we'll hold that down. The green lights will come on. And we'll get engine 4 underway here. A few Air New Zealand planes here today at Christchurch. I think there's a Jetstar plane here as well. Jetstar are a common sight in our New Zealand skies, a budget airline from Australia. I think they're a subsidiary of Qantas, I'm not sure, I think they are. So we're competing with them as well for our regional flights. We're competing with Air New Zealand, there we are, Jetstar over there. We're competing with the Aussie budget airline as well, Jetstar. Right, that might do us for the pushback. I don't know why my the button that I have assigned for my park brake is not working. Seems a little bit weird. Okay, let's go to engine number 3. 4321 is the order of our startup today. Bring that up to the fuel setting. Right, I'm going to put the clock on now because I want to see how long this turnaround actually takes from here to back to Wellington. Okay, so we are good to taxi to the active. This is it, guys. Now remember, this is my plane. This is our airline. Any damage to the plane, anything happens, I pay for it, okay? I am personally responsible for anything that happens to this plane. I have to pay for it. The airline has to pay for it because it's our plane. It's our airline. So we've got to look after it, guys, if we want to make money. Otherwise it is going to cost us big time. Big time! So we've got to hope everything goes well today. Our very first flights. We're going to make some money for the airline. Our very first flight, guys. It's got to go very well. We've got to do a nice soft landing. So the customers are happy. They'll come back and they'll fly again for KVM Inspire. Word of mouth, you know, and all that. We will build up our customer base. One plane at a time, one trip at a time. Got to get ourselves a bit of a good reputation going here, okay? So we've got to do a good job today. We've got to provide a good service for the customers and a good flight, really. A very good flight. Right, we'll stop here and just make sure we have permission for departure. My park brake button is still not working, regardless of how hard I push it. Let's poke that out here. Okay, our TCAS, we need to put round to TARA. And we can do a bit of a test. Ground test, here we go. The light is supposed to come on, but it hasn't come on. Maybe I need to have that round on standby. Do the test, no response. So let's put that round to Tara. Okay, so we're all set to go here at the hold short. We have clearance for departure. Now I have made a couple of little alterations to the flight plan. So I'll show you the flight plan that I put together here. Here it is here. Just before we take off, in case you want to copy it, take a screenshot and try it out. Here are our waypoints here. Departure out through Gut B. Okay, our star arrival is in through Ward 4C. Okay, now here's our ILS approach. ILS 34 in Wellington, 109.90 on heading of 340. That's runway ILS 34. Departing out through runway 02 at Christchurch. So a lovely short little plan here. I think with the waypoints I left out that one. I left out Greta and Luxiv and Kabar. I think I went to Gutboo and straight to Ward. If we have a look on the FMC down here, Gutboo, Greta, Ward, Omdocs, Salty, and then in through our arrival through Umaga, transition Bhutan, and then into runway 34. So a nice little flight plan, very simple if you would like to try it out. I think it's going to work really well. Well, it's got to, guys. If anything goes wrong, I'm paying for it. This is our airline, our plane, so everything has got to go perfectly. Okay, it's as easy as that. No ifs and buts about it. Still can't seem to get my button working for the park brake, so I'll just let that off here. Check. Flaps are down 18, landing lights are on. Climb out speed is set, LNAV is on, flight directors are on, and we will come around for a rolling takeoff. Okay, bring our throttles up 20%. Up 80%. And we will hit Toga. Okay, positive rate, gear up. And we will engage our autopilot and our LNAV and our auto throttle. Flight directors are on. I don't know why they sort of turned themselves off there at one stage. And we'll put this around to map. That is around to waypoints, so that is good. And we locked on to our flight plan and we are climbing out. Take our speed up a little more. Vertical speed we can set, we got that at 1.6, we'll take that up to 2,000 as we climb up to 10,000 feet initially. And we're on our way to Wellington, guys, for our first commercial paid trip. We're getting paid and the airline is getting paid. 112 happy customers in the back, 112 bums on seats. And we've got to do everything right, guys. It's got to be a beautiful trip and a beautiful landing. Otherwise, it is going to cost us big time. Right, flaps up. As you can see, we're following the coast as we head up the coast towards the North Island. Just departing out of Christchurch, coming up through 5,000 feet. Just going to turn right here at Gut B, our departure point. We can turn off our landing lights. And I'm going to turn off our beacon lights and strobe lights. I'm going to put our wing lights on. As we turn right here. Right, after takeoff checklist. Gear up and locked. Flaps up. Landing lights off. Auto throttle is on, autopilot is on, LNAV is on, flight director's on. Vertical speed set at 200 as we climb out to 10,000. After takeoff checklist complete. Now I'm going to show you these wing lights out here. It's a bit noisy out here, I have to say. We've got the red lights here. Green lights on the side. Bit noisy out there, isn't it? So let's have a look. Wing lights on. Logo on. Cabin emergency lights on. Okay, ice detection switches are on. Ice protection are on. Seatbelts are on. Everything is good there. I'm going to release the cabin crew to look after the passengers, ask them if they want some drinks, etc. Now I really like this with the I really like this with the electronic flight bag here. Little tablet here. You go in here and you can turn on the map. It is just fantastic. Look at this. Takes a few seconds to populate, but if you zoom out, it shows every. If you're flying over a city, for example, if you zoom right in, it shows you every road, every street in that city. It's as if it's taken from a GPS satellite. It is just fantastic map. I really wish the 737s had these, the PMDG ones, but they don't. But that is just fantastic. You can really see where you are in relation to the real world. As we come up the coast of the South Island, the scenery will be absolutely stunning. We'll have a look at that soon. Okay, we're at 10,000 feet. We're going to go up to 18,000 feet today. So we'll bring this up. We are 18,000 feet and we'll set our vertical speed 2,000. We can bring our speed up. We can go as far up to 250 really. Check our flight directors are still on, LNAV is on, autopilot is on, and we're following our line there absolutely perfectly. I didn't reset the clock, get some idea of the exact time it's going to take. I should have set that while we're at the runway really, at the hold short. Never mind. Now if I hold down the Alt key and bring my mouse over this display here, I'll click it and it actually pops up on my other screen on the left. There it is. It's a bit hard to see just sitting there with my old man eyes, but if I look over to my left screen, it's in. I see a big large version of it on my other screen. Pretty nifty. Pretty damn nifty. Okay, coming up through 12,000 feet. Have a look at the scenery over the South Island, just gorgeous. Really bright, those landing lights. My gosh, they are really bright. So we are going to be doing an ILS approach today. We probably don't need to. The visibility is just absolutely perfect. But I do want to get some practice with the ILS, because often coming into Wellington, the weather can be just unbelievably rough. So I do want to get some practice with the using the ILS with this plane. So let's come over here. We'll set the ILS up here. Frequency is 109.90. 109. Bring that up to 90. There it is. And we'll put that up to the active. We'll do the same on this side. 109.90, switch that up to the active. Runway heading of 340, so we'll set that into the course here. 340 and 340 over here. There we go, so we're all set up for a lovely ILS approach into Wellington, just as a bit of a practice. This is our first flight, so everything's got to go spot on, guys. Talk about nervous. Whew. Anything happens to this flight or this plane, I'm the one that pays, because we've only got one plane, and it's our airline, it's our career mode, so we've got to hope that everything goes good. We've got to look after this plane, because if we damage anything, it is going to cost us big time. It could even cost us the business. We don't know. Okay, coming up to our target altitude of 18,000 feet now. Right, as you can see guys, we have got a bit of a dog leg here, around to the right, to the left, and then we are on finals, coming into beautiful sunny Wellington. You can't beat Wellington on a good day, that's what they say. Certainly is a good day today. So it's goodbye to the South Island. What a beautiful view. And we're right over Cook Strait now as we come in towards Wellington, and we're very, very close to our final approach as we come over to the right to intercept our ILS. So on our VMAP here, you can see we're over Cook Strait. You can see where the Wellington runway is, right out on this little peninsula here. Pretty exciting. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely airport. Pretty exciting on a rough day to land at this airport, I can assure you. If we want to make money, we can't damage the planes. We've got to look after the equipment, alright? Look after the equipment. Let's bring our speed down a little bit more. Okay, we got our diamonds there. Well, not exactly diamonds on this plane, they're little crosses, I think. Little blips. See the little blips? They are actually the diamonds for the ILS approach. So we've got to turn around to the left, and then we are on finals. So let's bring our gear down, bring our flaps down, and we'll bring our gear down. Flaps down and gear down. Pre-landing check. Landing lights on. Taxi lights on. Navigation lights on. Strobe lights on. Beacon lights on. Gear down and locked. Flaps down. 30. Here's our flaps over here. Here's our flaps. We can bring our flaps down 30 for landing. Bring our speed down. Want to be round about 125, 130 knots. 120 for landing. Okay, so we've got a final turn to the left, and then we're on our finals. It's got to be a good landing, guys. I want a butter landing this time, since we've got real passengers on board, 112 paying customers, and we want them to come back. Want them to tell all their friends about KVM Inspire. Here we go. This is it, guys, a lot at stake here. We really don't want to damage the plane, full stop. It's got to be a perfect landing, nice and smooth, so all our customers are happy. There's the runway straight ahead. It is an absolutely perfect representation of Wellington. It is done absolutely fantastic. Check, approach, hold, engaged. The way they've modelled this airport in Wellington and the surrounding districts, absolutely perfect. I've flown in and out of Wellington many times, and I'm just amazed how good it is. I even recognise the holiday house on the hill where I stay when I go to Wellington. Everything is just fantastic. The shops there that I have a cup of coffee, where I watch the aeroplanes. It's just done brilliantly, guys. It really is. Wellington Airport is just done with such detail. It really is cool. You can see what I mean in regards to an exciting airport. just on the little narrow part of the peninsula there. No room for error, of course there never is in an airliner. I thought my computer was going to lock up then. That would have been annoying after all this time. A little bit of a freeze up there. That scared me. Okay, so here we come. We want a butter landing, guys. Our very first experience, our very first landing in a commercial airliner for our new airline service. So fingers crossed. Let's make a good impression. Get ready to turn off the autopilot and the flight director as we come in. Speed check, 125 knots. Beautiful day here at Wellington. Can often be very windy. Okay, prepare to turn off autopilot, auto throttle, and flight director.
500.
Autopilot off, auto throttle off, flight director off. I have the plane.
Minimums. Flight slope. 100. 50. 20. 10.
Speed brakes engaged. Okay, I think we can get off the runway right here at this exit, and we can have a look at our landing and evaluate. See how we went, guys. Our very first landing in our new airline service, our new regional airline. And let's have a look, see how we went, shall we? Okay, so let's put our park brakes on here, and we'll go up to here. Oh, did I start it? I didn't turn it on. Ah, you silly Wally. You stupid boy. What a stupid boy. Anyway, I've got to say, I think that landing was okay. I don't think it was too bad. Wasn't 100% on the centre line, but it was reasonably smooth. I'm quite happy with that for our very first attempt. As well, when I say first attempt, with our customers on board, I think it was a good landing. My opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was it a bit dodgy? I don't know. But it was an easy landing because the visibility was good and I used the ILS. So in the future we're not going to use any ILS many times. We're just going to do manual approach and landings. That's a skill we've got to work on and develop. Just on the rough days, the poor visibility, we will use the ILS. But here is Wellington Airport, and I tell you guys, it has done so well. Some Air New Zealand planes over there. Should be some Jetstar. Bring the flaps up. There's the Jetstar terminals over there. You can see those orange signs on the building. Those are the Jetstar terminals. It's a great looking airport, guys. Wellington Airport. Right, I think this is us right ahead here. This is where we're going to go. This is where we are supposed to be. And that will be our first KVM regional airline service completed. Our very first trip in our new plane, our new regional Avro RJ100. Okay, this will do us right here. We'll put on our park brakes. And that's it, guys. Over the next few videos, over the next few days, I'm going to be doing a lot more study with this plane. I'm going to be learning more about the systems, how to shut it down correctly, and all these kind of things I need to learn yet. It's an ongoing series. It's a profile, so I need to just keep on learning, keep on building on my skill set and my knowledge set. And we're going to get really good at it after a while if we keep with it. But for our very first trip, I am happy because we've got 112 happy customers who are going to climb out now and go away and tell their friends how good the service was and how nice a landing it was. I think it was good. But that's only my opinion. Feel free to let me know in the comments where I can improve. Okay, I'm very happy to learn. But here's Wellington Airport. It is very well done. There's a holiday house up on the hill here where I stay when I'm in Wellington, and I just love the view. This airport is so well done. Okay, probably on our next video we're going to fly from Wellington to Christchurch, and then we're probably going to do a flight from Christchurch over to Queenstown. That'll be a lot of fun as well, and a lot of beautiful scenery. Okay, our new airline is underway, guys. We're making money, we're making dollars, and I'm going to grind away online and offline and keep the money coming in till we can continue to build up and buy another plane. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and you enjoy your flight simulator. Keep safe, keep well, and keep coming back. Over and out, guys. Cheers.